Have you ever made out with a girl before?
Why are you asking?
Have you?
Sure, lots of times. What's the big deal?
No, I'm cool with it.
There's no it, it's just hot when two girls make out.
I'm not arguing.
Okay.
You think it's hot when two guys make out?
No, it's not hot, it's just gay.
What do you mean?
Two girls can make out when it's hot, but when two guys make out, it's gay.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. You may remember last year I talked about a film called Beach Rats, which is a really, really interesting independent feature. It wasn't widely seen in cinemas, but it got great reviews from the critics, and I particularly loved it. It's coming out on DVD, and I wanted to flag it up again for a number of reasons. The film is directed by Eliza Hittman, and it's the story about a young man in Brooklyn who meets a young woman and they start to have a relationship, but he has a secret life. He goes on gay websites and meets up with older guys. He says he meets the older guys because they don't know anyone he knows. And it's sort of, you know, a coming of age, rites of passage story about friendship and about identity, both sexual and personal. And it's beautifully done. It's fantastically low key, but it's also very sensual and very moving. Watching it, I was reminded of Moonlight, which you know I was a huge fan of. The performances were great and very, very naturalistic. It had a great look to it. And a really, really tactile look to the film. Now, the film is shot by Hélène Louvard, who is a female cinematographer. There's been a lot of stuff recently about the rise of women cinematographers because, as you probably know, the cinematographer for Mudbound, Rachel Morrison, recently became the first woman to be nominated for an Oscar for cinematography. I mean, it's astonishing that it's taken this long. But if you look at industry figures, there have been relatively few female DPs, and now, hopefully, we're starting to see a change in that. So it is brilliantly shot by Hélène Louvard. Secondly, it's really well directed by Eliza Hittman. I think she's done a terrific job of getting both the intimacy and the awkwardness and the sensuality of the situation. And then it has this brilliant central performance by Harris Dickinson, an actor who I have to say I hadn't heard of before I saw the film. And when I watched the film, I was completely convinced by him. I thought, well, obviously what they've done is that they've done street casting. They have found some, 19-year-old kid from Brooklyn who lives in this world, inhabits this world. You know, maybe he's not even acting. He's just actually playing the character that he's grown up with. Not at all. He's from Walthamstow. He is a rising star who I had never seen before, who I just absolutely assumed was born to play that role. You'll see him again in such forthcoming movies as The Medium and Darkest Minds. I don't know what characters he's playing, but it could be absolutely anything. All I can say is, from Walthamstow to Hollywood, Harris Dickinson is a star on the rise.